What are the rules of engagement and why do they matter? At the heart of it, they're what informs how the armed forces operate and, crucially, what enemy actions would lead to the use of force. So, if a hostile ship shines a laser at a military aircraft, can they hit back? It's rules of engagement that decide that. Each nation has their own, and so does NATO, but exactly what the rules are is often kept ambiguous, and that's why this public announcement came as a surprise.
I've changed the Navy's rules of engagement so that we can follow more closely, monitor more closely the activities of the Yantar when it's in our wider waters.
It is unusual for the Secretary of State for Defence to announce that at a press conference, because that sends a strategic message to Russia, which turns around and says, we've done something, we've changed something, and we're going to operate in a slightly different way. And Russia may now have to worry about how our forces interact with their forces going forward.
The Ministry of Defence say threats from Russian vessels have risen by 30% in just 2 years, and the use of lasers by the Russian crew of the spy ship Yantar against an RAF plane off the north coast of Scotland is what prompted the Defence Secretary to make his announcement. But there's a risk that this could have its own consequences.
So you can send a strategic message by saying you're changing the rules of engagement. But if the tactical commanders act on the rules of engagement that they're given, so for example, if the ship fires a laser, you're allowed to attack it, then that creates second order consequences that can have massive strategic effects. And for me, the onus is on the tactical commanders now to make sure that they manage the situation effectively.
And one of the big challenges of warfare is the ambiguity and uncertainty around your adversary's rules of engagement.
That's potentially the hardest question. What are the Russian rules of engagement? I mean, I never knew them. I'd never seen them when I was there. So I would know other NATO forces and what rules of engagement they were going under, but you don't know what the enemy's rules of engagement are. And this is the challenge during war. You might turn around and be operating under one constraint, the rules of engagement, but they might be doing something totally different, and then they're not aligned. So yeah, you rarely know what their rules of engagement are.
And while the Defence Secretary also chooses to keep the Russians guessing about exactly what these revised rules of engagement might be, he had a few hints.
Look at what we did last time. When the Yantar was in British waters, we surfaced a nuclear-powered British attack submarine close to that ship. A submarine that they did not know was there, that had helped track its every movement before. And look at what I'm going to do this afternoon. I shall go to Plymouth. I shall open a new factory.
And that factory? It's run by defence company Helsing, who are manufacturing the new SG-1 Fathom, an autonomous underwater glider designed to hunt down enemy submarines and defend the undersea infrastructure and cable network the Russian fleet are so interested in. So is this the Defence Secretary warning the Kremlin about the potential of new tech like this? Well, whatever the exact changes to the Royal Navy's rules of engagement, they will have an impact on all personnel, right from the very top of the chain of command down to the bottom. And keeping the details under wraps, it's just part of the strategy. Rosie Laydon, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.